Did you hear about the time when Kurt wanted to take a picture with his gun just a few weeks before his death? And what about this intimate photo that Courtney Love snapped in their bed? Stay tuned to see more rare pictures. Some were captured by professional photographers. Others were taken by fans just like you and me who had the opportunity to spend time and chat with Nirvana, giving us with a glimpse of what they were truly like in real life. During this video, you will witness the shift in Kurt's energy as fame took hold, gradually wearing him down. But before we get started, could you help us reach our goal of 200 likes? It will help our small channel grow. And if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more awesome stories. Also, we took time to colorize and enhance a lot of images, so if you would like to save them, visit our website in the description below. Let's go back to 1988 when photographer Rich Hansen took some cool pictures of Nirvana in their early days. They were at 139 Virginia Street in Seattle. During the photo session, the band was up for anything, and they seemed pretty innocent and naive. Kurt Cobain, who had a drink in his hand, was in the front as Rich took the photos. They were in an alley facing Sub Pop Records. Everyone else had already left, and it was the middle of the night. But there was a small problem. Chris was much taller than the others, so Rich convinced Kurt to sit on Chris's leg, and Kurt innocently agreed without any hesitation or rockstar attitude. This picture was taken by Charles Peterson on Bainbridge Island in Washington. Charles shares that this was his first time photographing Nirvana back in the spring of 1988. They were on a visit to the place where Chad Channing lived. Charles really liked how the photos turned out. As the day was coming to an end, he had a fun idea to have them stand in a field of poppies, and Kurt was super relaxed and couldn't stop laughing while Charles was snapping the shots. Charles Peterson captured this photo as well. He mentioned that Kurt Cobain appeared visibly overwhelmed and tired after the release show of Nevermind in a record store. There were a lot of people asking for his autograph, and Kurt seemed unsure of how to handle it all. It was a somewhat gloomy sign of what would come in the future. This moment was at Beehive Music Videos in Seattle. These intimate snapshots were taken by Kurt's ex-girlfriend, Tracy Marander. Most of them were captured at his home in Olympia, Washington, using her Kodak X400 camera. Tracy recalled that one of these photos was taken in 1990 during the summer after she and Kurt had broken up. She had gone to visit him in Olympia and took several pictures of him playing with 2 calico kittens. Whenever Nirvana was on tour and stayed at someone's place, Kurt would call Tracy and tell her about the cool cats living there. Tracy really loved this side of Kurt, his affection for animals and how he enjoyed their company. During those early years of Nirvana, Tracy was a crucial support for Kurt, both financially and emotionally. They lived together and she covered the rent because Kurt didn't have a job apart from the band. She took care of him, their home, and their pets because she genuinely loved him. Tracy's support allowed Kurt to focus on his songwriting and band rehearsals. Their relationship hit a rough patch during the Bleach tour. Allegedly, he fell in love with Toby Vale in 1990 and fell out of love with Tracy. This photo was captured by J.J. Gonson in 1989. The night after a Nirvana show that had fewer than 15 people in attendance at Green Street in Jamaica Plain, the band came to stay with Gonson. During their stay, Kurt frequently complained of having a sore stomach. He believed that strawberry quick flavored milk could help alleviate the discomfort. To assist him, the photographer's roommate took him to the convenience store next door to get it. Here, Nirvana had borrowed a van called the Melvin because it was owned by friend band the Melvins for the 1990 tour. Gonson, the photographer, was driving Kurt around, probably just hanging out. He was holding a cross-up in front of things and taking pictures with the point-and-shoot camera he is holding in the other hand. This picture was taken by Charles Peterson, who was requested to capture some pictures of the radio contest winners with Sonic Youth and Nirvana. It was the local deafened representative who asked for these shots. The photographer managed to snap this picture before anyone else got involved. Interestingly, the person on the far left is actually Thurston Moore from Sonic Youth. He had accidentally hit his head with his guitar during their last song and was hurt. He wasn't too thrilled about being in the photos. This picture captures a unique moment in time. This photograph was taken by Chris Cafaro in the Nord Alley, Seattle, Washington. A around March 1991, Chris had some free time on his hands, so he reached out to his good friend John Silva, who managed Nirvana, to see if the band could spare some time for a free photo shoot. At that point, Dave Grohl had just joined the band, and they were in the midst of working on their iconic album, Nevermind. They generously gave Chris a couple of hours and told him he could do whatever he pleased. They all met up for a meal before the shoot. Back in those days, they were all quite broke, so Chris kindly picked up the lunch tab, which made the band quite happy. Afterward, they strolled over to a nearby alley and started taking pictures. Kurt Cobain even hoped up on a trash can for a rest. After the photo shoot, they all went for a drink to nurse their hangovers. As a final note, it was during this shoot that Chris Cofaro first met Kurt Cobain. He described Kurt as a gentle soul, and over the years, Kurt was consistently kind to him. This photo is a real gem, taken by a devoted fan who had the incredible opportunity to hang out backstage with Dave Grohl and the rest of the Nirvana crew during the legendary Nirvana show at the Roxy in Hollywood, which happened in August 1991. The fan confessed that they weren't usually fans of taking photos with stars, but this one was an exception. It was actually snapped by a member of the Nirvana crew who playfully swiped the fan's camera while they were chatting with Dave. And to this day, it's one of their most cherished memories as music enthusiasts. This photo captures a side of Kurt Cobain that was shy and timid. It was taken in TJ's in Newport, UK by the photographer Matthew Weir. When he approached Kurt and asked if he could take a couple of photos, Kurt initially assumed it meant photos of both of them together, but Matthew clarified that he meant photos of just Kurt, which left Kurt looking a bit puzzled but willing to go along with it. During the encounter, Kurt appeared quiet and reserved, displaying the qualities you often hear about in descriptions of him. In the end, Matthew also asked Kurt for his autograph, not for himself, but for his mom. To this day, Matthew's mom still has that autograph tucked away between the pages of a book. It's a simple yellow post-it note with Isabel Kurt written in a childlike scrawl. This photo also taken by a fortunate fan, and it has an interesting backstory. It happened in Denmark in August 1992. On the night Nirvana played their concert at Roskilde, Denmark had won the European Championship in football. The following day, this fan, who was feeling a bit hungover, decided to go to the airport to see if they could meet Nirvana. They arrived at the airport at around 10 in the morning. After about an hour, Pearl Jam, who had also performed at Roskilde, showed up. Not too long after, they spotted Dave Grohl and Chris sitting on a baggage trolley outside the airport all by themselves. The fan had a chance to talk to them and get their autographs for about 5 minutes. Then Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love showed up. The fan asked them about the concert the night before, but it seemed like they didn't enjoy the show very much. Stevin said now he took these pictures, didn't really like the magazine he was working for. It was too commercial for his taste, but he agreed to work with them because he had a chance to take photos of Nirvana. On the day of the photo shoot in July 1993, he arrived very early in the morning in Seattle, but he was so tired that he fell asleep on the hard floor of the photo studio. When Nirvana showed up, they found him sleeping there, and he was wearing a sarong, which is like a kind of skirt from India. They probably thought it was funny, and that's why they decided to wear similar clothes for the photos. Because the magazine was more about fashion, the band might have decided to have some fun and not take it too seriously. During the photo shoot, they didn't talk much, but they all seemed to have a good time. They didn't plan anything in advance. They just went out of the studio and took pictures on the nearby street, especially near a street sign that said Republican. The whole photo session lasted only about 1 or 2 hours, and they were finished by noon. The person who took this photo is Stephen Pavlovich, and it was taken at the Gibson Amphitheater in Los Angeles, California. In 1993, he happened to be in LA at the same time Nirvana was filming the heart-shaped box video and attending the MTV Awards. Courtney Love asked Stephen if he could help take care of Kurt for a few days. It was during this time that Stephen snapped the Polaroid photo of them along with RuPaul as they arrived at the awards. In 1993, Stephen also took this Polaroid of Kurt in a hotel room in Los Angeles. He created a unique effect by double exposing the shot, making it appear as if Kurt was playing the guitar both left and right-handed. Yuri Linkett was the photographer behind this eerie picture of Kurt Cobain. In retrospect, considering how things unfolded, Yuri explained that it was Kurt's idea to pose with the firearm. Kurt had brought it to the studio, and Yuri had repeatedly asked him to take some photos without it. Little did anyone know at the time that this would be Kurt's final photo shoot, nor could anyone have anticipated the profoundly ominous nature of these images, given what would tragically happen a few weeks later. Now, which photograph do you consider your favorite? And have you been one of the fortunate ones to meet and share time with your favorite bands? Share your stories with us in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're new here. Until next time.